Picking up where I left off, um, basically, these men have been in places, spaces, industries, potentially in influential places, and had access to people, because some of these people, which is another one I never did not mention, some of them are in influential positions. Okay, for instance, those of us that are on YouTube, there are YouTubers that have certain levels of degrees of height in YouTube that are YouTube influencers, Instagram influencers, so on and so forth. Some of you may be even called to marry somebody that is what you call it? One of them types of gurus that talk that's like a mentoring guru type person, but they have not found their niche yet, because there are people that are called into those what you call it? Those uh what's the word? Uh family oriented building of like work from home type businesses, like the ones that are formed online groups, Mary Kay, Avon, things like that. So some are called to that, but for the men, because I've heard of multiple different kinds. So, and there is lucrative money in that. But you just need to know which place you're called to. A lot of people believe that those are pyramid schemes. Mm-mm. Because we know Mary Kay been around for years. We know Avon been around for years. And there is wealth in those places. You just need to know where you're called to go. There is a word I've been sitting on right now that I don't know whether I'm going to publicly release this or it's going to be released in something that is more of a private base, just because of something that the Lord has shown me. So I'ma just say this. Your husbands have callings on them, okay? So it can range the gamut. You understand what I'm saying? So because of the range of gamut, there is a level of warfare that this man has gone through. Just like I mentioned in the previous one about that young man. That there is an element that these men have been living in a candy land, meaning whatever industry, wherever they were called to, whatever it was they were, whatever, pick the gamut that I brought up throughout this and the previous video of all of the places that these men could be in, and from all of the levels up and down, because each one has its own levels to it. Some haven't gotten there yet, some are going to get there. But for where they are going, in the direction God's taking them, if they are not aware, the first thing that distracts a man is a woman. A lot of our spouses, and we know this, were distracted by women. Okay? God assigned them. Ooh, I got a word on this. I did it way back when God gave me a revelation, but he gave me a revelation, and the day he gave me that revelation, he had given me a revelation, a personal revelation the night before. So if I showed you the word, I look pissed off through the first 3 parts of it. But when God gave me the revelation, it was the understanding of Adam's assignment in the garden. Now, I did talk about this, but I said even in that I was going to do a full understanding on the garden. That's the one that you saw recently. But I did a word where I did a full on breakdown of Adam's job in the garden and a distraction that was positioned in his way that led him astray from where he was supposed to be, completely took him in the wrong direction. Okay? Coming back to what I'm saying here, the industries that these men have been called to, wherever they called to, some of them are real estate agents, some of them are financiers. You realize that there are women in those places that are targeting these men too? They target them everywhere. So when it comes down to it, there are women that position themselves like a candy land to these men. Okay? It's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And I'm going to give you this reference. Do not get on me. But for those of you women that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and you understand why I'm using this reference. Several years ago, Lil' Kim came out with a video. I must have been 12 or 13 when she came out with this video. And in the video, it was like she was being reproduced on a factory conveyor belt. If you know the video I'm talking about, and it was like she was just being created over and over and over again. She was literally just talking about the way that the system works, of how they recreate you. And don't go watch the video, but that is the video that she created. That's what these men were in. These women were readily available. Whichever one you want. You know how in certain places and certain echelons, we know of the dark side. Men got money. I'm going to tell you something that this is one of my professors when I was in college mentioned this. She was a banker, okay? She worked in her younger days as a banker, but as a banker, there were certain clientele that they were trying to pull into their banks, right? And while she was working this corporate position at this job, I don't know whether it was at the bank or it was another corporate position she just happened to work from her transition from the bank, that there were people that when they wanted to get these corporate clients, they would send her out. Whatever these men wanted, she was supposed to go get it. Meaning, if they wanted to go to the strip club, okay, they had a car, pull up, take these men with her to this place. She was supposed to bring them to the place that they wanted to go. Whatever they wanted. If they wanted a woman for the evening, she was supposed to go get it. She was supposed to make the call. If they wanted to be at the bar, if they wanted to be in a hotel room, it wasn't her personal business whether they were married or not. She was supposed to get the client. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So, some of these men were in scenarios. I'm going to even go even further than that to tell you. I remember I was listening to a YouTuber that I followed very readily several years ago. But after she got married, I haven't really been following her that much with some things. She follows God, but I see some things. And when she was telling her story, she talked about the fact that when she was younger and in her first marriage, she used to go to the club. And the people that are in that environment, it's nothing to them to offer somebody cocaine. And for a person to not accept it is almost like, oh, you don't do that? This is how they operate in those environments. So can you imagine your spouse, whether they were young and green and got caught up in going to the club and whatever environment, just because most people just get caught up in the club just cuz. That's when most anybody between the ages of 21 and up, some 18 and up, like going to the club just because they want to go dance and stuff. Go drink at the bar. Go do whatever it is like that. And depending on whatever their echelon in the clubs, the groupings, the all of this kind of stuff. You think they ain't women out there? I remember I was listening to it was a football player. He's an ex-football player who went into mental health. He was talking about on Dear Wifey podcast. He was there with Essence somebody. I forget what her last name is. And they were doing an interview. And he was saying when he's at the bar, he can tell the women that are sending him drinks and giving him the eye, because he can tell what it is exactly that they are innuendoing that they want from him. Okay? So you got to imagine that these men have had to deal with this. All of this. Now, with all of that happening, God's going to start pulling on their coattail. Start pulling on them. Pulling on them. I need your attention, sir. Sir. And his attention's over there looking at that woman that's got that really good body. Very gorgeous. Did you not get the review I did on the movie The Thin Line Between Love and Hate? Huh? So he sees the woman. And God's pulling his coattail like, sir, you don't go over there. Sir, you don't want to go over there. Mm-mm. And he starts, remember, this is a candy shop. This is a candy shop. And God's pointing. I got a candy over there. You see that one over there? And you like the Easter Bunny. You know the Easter Bunny that be fully wrapped up. You can't see the inside of what the candy look like, but the bunny be wrapped up in the aluminum foil, and sometimes they be wrapped up so fully that all you see is the ribbon on the outside and you can't even see. You just see the imprint of what it looked like. That's what you was. You were the one with the nice bow wrapped around it, and God saying, I'm going to give you that one. But remember, he's surrounded with the ones that are on the production line that look like the little Kims, right? Right? And God's saying, I know you can see what they got to offer you, right? But I'm trying to show you what I have to offer you, and that's wrapped up over there. I remember several years ago, my mom used to say it like this. You can't show a man everything you got. You got to make him wonder who you are. You got to make him try to figure these things out. You can't give him everything all at once. There's a level of respect that comes with that. Because the woman that's on the conveyor belt, that's in the factory, that's being produced, that's got the big butt, boobs, wigs, Brazilian hair, and all of that, he already know what he's going to go over there and get. A man never marries what he plays with. But God's saying, I got somebody wrapped up over there. They over there. You see them over there? I know they're wrapped up and you can't tell what's on the inside, because I have them wrapped up in aluminum foil right now, and a bow is on them. You're going to have to do some work on that one. But I need you to wait. As soon as he hear wait, he ain't paying no more attention. But I got a Cadbury bunny over here that's wrapped up. And I specifically mentioned Cadbury because that's the one with the chewy inside. Because the inside of us is better than what they're getting on the outside. Because guess what? The one on the production line, they hollow. They ain't got nothing in there. Even in that music video, I think they were hollow. So with that being said, if he's attracted to visuals, oh, he gonna get trapped with that one over there. And the ones coming off the factory line, he's like, ooh. But if he's not looking for substance, it could be Godiva chocolate on the inside of that thing. Tasty caramel taffy on the inside of the one that's wrapped up. But he over here looking at this regular milk chocolate. And God's like, I got truffle chocolate over here. You know what truffle chocolate tastes like? Mixed with caramel. But if he's attracted to what he sees, the Barbie doll on the line, but I need you to trust me to go over to where you can't see the inside of it and walk with me. You understand? But see, the problem was he had to get into enough trouble with the production line that he could see, okay, I need to go over there. You understand what I'm saying? But, and I'm going to get into the next video, but I'm going to say this. There's a quote that I gave you in one of the other videos, that the pain of being in something that's the same repetitive rotation must be bad enough that in order for you to go through that same thing, that there must be enough of a difference so that when the pain of changing comes in, you'll change. That pain to stay the same has to outweigh, meaning the pain of remaining in the same cycle of rotation of women that what he wasn't getting nothing from had to be so bad that he was running to the Cadbury bunny woman that was wrapped up that he could not see. That's you. Because you're the thing that's worthy of fighting for, because you're the pain to change. So he had to go through the pain of choosing to change and walk away from that to come towards you, which he could not see. And that was the one that was going to make the difference. So that's the end of this word. I'm going to come back with the next one.